Best of 7. Winner moves to the semifinals. Let's get it started. Endpoint versus FaZe.
Big questions about to be answered as we hit the pitch for FaZe versus Endpoint. It's not just about the accolades, guys, but it's also about the bragging rights.
There is so much pressure here for Endpoint to perform against one of the greatest teams in North America. It is rookie versus rookie. With a couple of the old guard on either side, it truly could go either way.
Oh yeah, and it makes sense. Everybody is talking about those two players, Seiko and First Killer. Seiko with 81% goal participation, and First Killer, of course, doing some crazy mechanical things. But I think it's going to come down to, like my boy T-Bates talked about, LAN Lucian. How does he step up here? He had a great series against BDS. I think that's the player we got to watch out for.
He opened up the scoring against BDS, and FaZe never really looked back after that series. And now, after the top 8 finish for them, they're only got their sights set upwards. For Endpoint, they've had... Endpoint, they're used to the adversity. They've had some struggles, but Sonaris diving in front of the box for the save.
Unbelievable dive as he just manages to get away in the front of that FaZe Clan shot. It's just such offense immediately. That's what Endpoint are going to need to deal with. So much pressure on their side. Seiko, they're returning fire, and Gregan predicted there was going to be some fire goals. I completely agree. We're going to be seeing so many clips.
And we've already got a lot of demos here off the bat. It's going to get chaotic on the field. FaZe Clan love to go for that physical play, but this time it's actually going to be Endpoint getting a lot of those demos and trying to fight fire with fire.
Relating wave up for this one quickly, but actually it's Illusion with a clean touch. Back over to First Killer, and Seiko able to punch it back out. Endpoint back on the counterattack.
Oh, there's so many chances there, but Netza just didn't decide to move up. Relating wave set him a good one, but First Killer instead screaming with the team.
And it's an instant counterattack from FaZe Clan here. Look at that cut in the midfield from First Killer. You saw how he got in front of him, and then the demo from LAN Lucian coming through. FaZe Clan, what a counterattack.
Every single player involved from FaZe Clan in that first goal. Brilliant movement from Illusion. Manages to get in the way, removing that keeper. Huge performance. Relating wave, though, I'm still reeling from that first chance. Nobody from Endpoint moving up. LAN Illusion, chance to get another one.
Oh, that's free.
Metanoris with the biggest mistake he could have made.
Metanoris hasn't really done that. His touches have been clean all week, but this is a huge gap from him, giving FaZe a clean goal.
And it could be the nerves here coming into game 1, but Endpoint, they didn't take a break off yesterday like FaZe Clan. I'm not sure what's going on here. Probably one of the worst starts you could ask for.
Metza, though, as soon as he did that, he was smiling. In his player cam, he was still smiling.
Is he ever not smiling?
He is genuinely one of the happiest, smiliest people I've ever met in my life, and it's wonderful. Sometimes, though, you need some of the
But we're just in game 1. Does he smile after that mistake in game 4, 5, 6? I mean,
I genuinely think he would. I genuinely think he would. Maybe not for good reason. I will give you that.
Luckily for Endpoint, it is still very early in the series. Metanoris is going to pitch that one up, but there's Illusion. Able to carry that one down safely for FaZe.
Oh my!
They've started out in the best way possible. Metanoris pushes that one over to the corner.
Yeah, a bit of a dodgy touch though from him, and it leads to AJ being able to cut in instead. 3 for FaZe Clan, and Metza just seems a little bit lost on this pitch.
It's just how fast that FaZe Clan can cut in on rotation. You see AJ, he had that pass prediction way before the defender even knew what was going on. First Killer, it's just one simple touch in the midfield. AJ, he's prepared, and they know exactly how to play around each other. FaZe Clan, 3-0. It's just the first game. A very fiery start.
An explosive one for sure. Metanoris kicking that one downfield. Seiko can't get the touch. AJ back over to First Killer. Wins another one. FaZe just winning every single touch. Metanoris has a little bit of space. Swinging wide. Relating wave won't even get a touch. FaZe take away another chance for Endpoint.
Right now, what I'm seeing, though, from Endpoint is playing a little bit scared. Metza being intercepted to that ball by First Killer. The speed from that young man is unbelievable. His appearance in the RLCS has changed North American Rocket League. Metza, as an older guard member of this squad, it's going to be so hard to deal with. He knows how fast these players can be. Seiko, on his side, is a weapon.
I mean, you have to have Seiko pop off here in this series, and frankly, throughout the rest of today, if you want to see Endpoint win. That pass looked pretty fancy from First Killer getting into the midfield, but like I was saying, Seiko, he's got to do some work. He's got to do a lot of heavy lifting. We saw what he could do with the 1v2, the mind games earlier on. That needs to get replicated here.
FaZe are playing with fever right now. They will not let Endpoint out of the blue half. They finally get a clear. Relating wave crashes the corner. And First Killer gets that touch, and again, FaZe stopping any chance Endpoint have to set up shop in the orange half. FaZe taking a little bit of time, but still back to the blue.
I think the biggest difference I'm seeing right now is that Endpoint have to respect everything FaZe Clan put up.
Yeah.
They're going up, excuse me, they're going up and they're intercepting every single touch they go for. For FaZe, they can leave Endpoint every now and then to do what they need to do. Seiko nearly getting a goal, but it's the respect, I think, that's the biggest issue.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, it's 3-0 for FaZe Clan, and you don't have to force too much on the offensive side. Just make sure you're getting those 50-50s like that one there from, I believe, Illusion. If you're finding those challenges, up 3-0 just now, a minute left. Endpoint, they've got to make something work downfield. Otherwise, this game 1 is over.
First Killer locking down these corners. You saw that close shot that he had earlier. He is feeling it in game 1. Illusion just goes around the merry-go-round, but Alert Wave finally breaks out. Nope, First Killer there to close it down. Endpoint really struggling to get anything going against FaZe. AJ, plenty of space in front of the third. Lets it pops it up above the crossbar. And Relating Wave, tough ball to handle, and he's just trying to keep FaZe away from the ball.
And a double commit from Endpoint. This could be a very good symbol of how they're feeling on the field. While we did see Metzenaris smile a bit, still panicky on defense with a double commit, and then nothing working too much on the offensive side. Here comes Illusion in the corner to dribble out. 18 seconds left. This one, you can basically call it, Jorby. FaZe Clan going to take game 1.
It has been a surprising start for Endpoint. That first goal going in, and then the Metzenaris mistouch, and they never really got any sort of control going in game number 1. Firmly in FaZe's favor after that.
I think it's a bit of a crash back down to earth for Endpoint. They finished the season over in Europe in that first spot. They looked so good. They won 2 regionals to get there as well. Their biggest competition throughout the entire tournament being Dignitas. FaZe Clan are a different breed. That is North America's 3rd seed.
And we're not seeing the playoff bracket Endpoint. I mean, I know it's only game 1. I'm not trying to freak out everybody, but we aren't seeing that crazy mechanical plays from Seiko. Metzenaris, of course, the abysmal mistake, I would say, on defense. And FaZe Clan, interestingly enough, they have always won every single first game so far in every series. At this LAN, they win game 1.
Has any Endpoint series been easy for them? Every time this team plays, it always feels like a battle. You see 5-game series, you see 7, it always ends up on Champions Field.
Easy to watch? No. Absolutely not. It is heart-wrenching every single time I watch Endpoint, because I know the depths that they've been to. With Seiko, they are a different team. But North America as a region is different with First Killer. Turtle, I can't even begin to explain how much he has come in and not necessarily revitalized the region, but shown what North America can contribute to the world stage.
Absolutely. I mean, First Killer, he has been very consistent, and I'm very happy to see First Killer as a player who we know can step up mechanically, not be too chasey on the field. Of course, he's going for a lot of shots. Of course, he's being aggressive, but he's not trying to do everything for his team. He's giving space to somebody like AJ and Illusion to move down the field, and here's AJ himself at the forefront.
And when you have one of those mechanical players trying to do everything themselves, that a good team it does not make. You need to be having that teamwork that comes with it. First Killer's done a substantial job of being able to do so. Seiko, the exact same. It's the battle of the rookies, as we said to begin with.
Metzenaris up quickly for this, but couldn't chase it down. You talk about, Turtle, you're talking about space for FaZe. But Seiko, who has been the star of this team all season, he's had none of it against FaZe. They've shut him down completely so far.
But the thing of it is, Seiko can create that space. I'm not necessarily worried about if the space is there or not for Seiko. It's how they respond and go about challenging Seiko. With the 1v1 abilities he has, it's terrifying. It doesn't matter if he has space or he's got another player. Make sure you're shadowing that first one who goes for the challenge so you can take it away immediately from Seiko. Like right here, you challenge perfectly, you stop that attack, and things flatten out for Endpoint.
Relating Wave gets a 50 for Endpoint. Maybe this can be the start where they can find some openings. FaZe Clan, they're able to win that ball in the corner. First Killer's shot easily turned away. FaZe are still hunting for that first goal. Bit of time in the blue half. Endpoint certainly stabilized and a much better start from game 1.
It's chances now for Endpoint starting to materialize, where FaZe Clan are, as we said earlier, they aren't necessarily respecting everything that Endpoint does. They think, well, you know what, we can defend it at the death if we need to. That may well come back to bite them.
Again, First Killer blocked out by Seiko. The Endpoint defense holding the line so far. Relating Wave next on the call for the guard. Oh, you see Illusion harassing Metzenaris in net, but Metzenaris had plenty of time to get back out.
Awesome movement there from Illusion to then immediately come out when he's not needed. What What a rocket to the top corner, AJ.
I mean, check out this shot from AJ. The pass from First Killer was a weird 50-50. And First Killer, if you notice, he stopped on the sidewall to make sure that 50 went out into the midfield. And AJ, a firecracker from the midfield. That's how you get it done.
First Killer's been deadly with these passes from the sidewall. He's always finding the perfect pass out. It's the little bit of space to give his teammates the shot on net. But First Killer's been dishing it out for both of his teammates to Seiko.
That was such good movement from First Killer, where he saw that maybe Seiko was a little bit low on boost. Everyone at Endpoint now is, but when he saw that, he identified slow the play down. Seiko has to burn boost to get near the ball, and immediately nullified what he wanted to try.
Endpoint, they're resilient though. It might not really be looking too great for them so far in this series, but they can come back. They can battle back. It's only game 2. They've got what it takes, and you've got Seiko leading the way.
Metanaris tried to find a bump, but First Killer gets the touch. Relating wave, another pot shot just above the crossbar. Seiko tries to dive in, but doesn't even get a touch on the ball, and here come FaZe Clan across the other way. Metanaris is going to do what he can to get this ball out. He will be given space off that miss. Now Seiko, a little bit in midfield. Oh, Metanaris plays the ball, and Seiko punches it in!
What a brilliant play from Endpoint as Seiko starts to lead that charge. Meta laying it off as he had no boost. Seiko had a dream. The double bump coming in on AJ, and that is what it takes to get him out of the game.
That was just so well executed from Seiko. Whenever he stuttered a bit as that ball was rolling towards him, he knew that Meta was going to go for a demo, and that slight step to the left of the ball, letting it roll across, gave so much time for Meta to go for the demo and execute the play.
Endpoint getting their first goal of the series.
That's open.
Relating wave punches it up high. And there's a clear from AJ. But a chance for Endpoint to set up shop in the orange half.
Meta found himself again on low boost in the midfield. If you got no boost, mate, you got to head back. Otherwise, you're just slowing your team down from countering.
Another challenge for AJ. He's got some space to work around Metanaris. Coming in to help his First Killer. Quickly around, though, is Seiko to get that ball downfield. Illusion trying to cut the counterattack off, but here come Endpoint. Metanaris hard off the path wall. Endpoint got to work a little harder. Here's Seiko from the relating wave, and it's denied.
You'll notice how Endpoint, they like to take those midfield boosts and rotate right back in. They were doing this against G2. Perfect and flawless rotations to keep the pressure forward, starving out your opponent. Now, everybody pay attention. Upper right-hand corner, you can look at the boost of FaZe. They are starting to get very low on boost and then retreat all the way back. First Killer sitting on empty right now as he gets somehow a full boost pad, but the pressure is still on from Endpoint.
Big clear for AJ as well. Seiko trying to get around him. He's going to. Now what can Seiko do? On the air dribble!
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is utterly godly from the new man on Endpoint. What a send upfield with the pre-flip. Catches it to perfection. Say goodbye, Illusion.
This is why he's got 81% goal participation. This is why Endpoint chose Seiko to lead the way. He's got the mechanics and everything flashy you need to make a star player.
Splash play from Endpoint to take the lead in game 2. Seiko demoed on the play by Illusion. There's relating wave again, keeping FaZe from getting into the blue half. Big touch from Metanaris!
That is unbelievable. How do you secure that angle? Meta looked like he barely had his controller plugged in game number 1, and now look at him.
We keep talking about Seiko. Here comes Metso with the mechanics, the double tap, the veteran on the field. I thought maybe he needed a cane to get around, but instead he's out here hitting double taps.
Keeping in fine form in old age. Metanaris coming up big time for Endpoint. 20 seconds remain on Forbidden Temple. And a big answer to FaZe's dominant Game 1 performance. Metanaris swinging around and wasting all that time off the clock. Here's relating wave, and they won't stop scoring.
No, you do not do that to anybody, let alone FaZe Clan. Meta with one pass across and the little touch past First Killer. It accelerates it to a magnificent 93 kilometers per hour, 4-1 Endpoint.
Turtle, this is a complete flip from what we saw from
It's
FaZe.
insane. It's insane. You can tell Endpoint, they were reserving energy. Even game 1, it didn't go their way, but they still smiled through the pain, bounced back, and every single player on this field for Endpoint has had an individual pop-off moment. It's not normal that we see that. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the playoff bracket Endpoint that you need to fear. They are deadly.
Endpoint tying up the series We had one game, or one series go 7 today. Endpoint and FaZe already early on looking like this one could go the distance, Dom.
Unbelievable how well Endpoint managed to bring it back. If I'm being honest, I was thinking, right, just please, Endpoint, give us a game.
Yeah.
Give us a series, because they didn't look good. Game number 1, they were completely shut down.
There's a huge difference here for Endpoint compared to the first day that we saw them on this LAN. They are shooting, this was a game where they had 6 shots, and then they scored 4 of them. If we take it all the way back to their first day, they had 41 shots and only scored 2 goals. The step up on accuracy, mechanics, all of it has been flawless for Endpoint, and it's night and day.
Something we saw from Endpoint in that game as well is the confidence to go for those shots. Like Metza going for that double tap, unbelievable. Seiko pre-flipping from his half and air dribbling over Illusion is insane. Wave, that final goal, just a tap over the top. It is huge. It's that confidence that makes Endpoint Endpoint. Whew.
Now underway in game number 3. Seiko off the ceiling. Seiko towards the box, and AJ will be able to take that away.
What do we get from FaZe Clan now? They have been slapped in the face in game 2. It was very tough, definitely, but game 1, of course, something fantastic and really a performance that we need to take note of that FaZe Clan still can perform.
I want to see some clips from FaZe Clan, but with Seiko opening the scoring, listen to how much they're shouting. The left side of your screens, the blue is lit up. They are electric.
What a demo from Relating Wave. All Metsonaris had to do was ensure that that ball got through that last FaZe defender, and it gave Seiko the easiest shot on net, and Endpoint get the first goal. Back into the corner, Metsonaris. Slowing down against the 50 with Illusion, Seiko crashing as well. Bit of a lock here. A big
the midfield!
Illusion, and FaZe Clan feel unbeatable from that sidewall.
Exactly. It's these midfield passes. The right sidewall is the key for FaZe Clan. And it's not a slow pass. It's a fireball into the midfield for Illusion to carry that speed and get an even faster shot.
147 kilometers per hour, that shot.
Ridiculous.
In miles per hour, that is a slightly lower number, but still incredibly quick.
Oh, FaZe Clan, they needed a splash play, and they got one. Big pass, Relating Wave. It's cut off by AJ. And FaZe waiting for this. Ball just hanging around in Endpoint's third. First killer trying to slow down the counterattack. He actually succeeds, but Relating Wave gets the kick over FaZe Clan members. He gets bumped out of the way, so Endpoint don't immediately push down the field.
So right now it feels like we have a lot of the passing elements from FaZe Clan that we know and love. And it's been even better, really, than I'd say all season long. This is peak passing for FaZe Clan, but where's the individual plays? That's the difference here. You are getting those passes, you're getting the chemistry, but we need somebody to step up with those 1v1 plays.
It's now a time for First Killer to show that he is the other rookie on that team.
This is it.
We want to see his mechanics come in, have them shine. FaZe Clan, I want to see you hit some clips.
Seiko protecting this ball in the corner. Illusion shakes him off of it. AJ can't get the shot, denied by Relating Wave. Seiko looking for a clear. First killer takes it away from him. Push for FaZe Clan. AJ a little off target, and Metsonaris gets the clear.
It's now FaZe Clan pushing as hard as they can to try and get that early lead. One thing I'm worried about for Endpoint is that they are going to maybe get a little bit complacent, thinking, God, we hit some really good shots in that game. Maybe we should keep going crazy. Sometimes, as Seiko has shown us, you just need to drive forwards, and that may well be enough.
Look at Relating Wave into the midfield, the slower pass, and he went for the demo, didn't connect, but then the follow-up from Metza.
Seiko?
What a defensive stance from FaZe.
Turn around, first killer underneath. Can he get by Seiko? Seiko didn't have to work too hard for that save, but still poised under pressure. Seiko got the ball. Seiko with control, and it's taken away by first killer.
He attempted to go for just another drive forward strat and get it through the keeper. This time not working. FaZe Clan a little bit more adept at defending them.
Relating Wave keeps this ball close for Seiko. Endpoint trying to be quick on defense. Relating Wave gets a hard clear out, forces first killer to make a good touch, and he does. The Relating Wave up high forces FaZe Clan to play some more defense. Illusion back over to AJ, and a good defensive stand for FaZe.
I know everybody talked about FaZe Clan, and even I mentioned I wanted to see more 1v1 plays, but still, I have a lot of respect for Illusion and what he's done for this team against BDS. He was the man who was scoring those go-ahead goals, getting things moving for FaZe Clan. It's all tied up here, under 2 minutes left. Illusion maybe hit some of those star shots from the midfield that we saw.
There's so much time. So many times we've just seen the ball bouncing in either third for a while before either team even commits to it, and then it's just this flurry of shots that comes out. FaZe haven't been able to collect on that yet, though.
That first chance of first killer to get the dish from up top, so close to flying in. 90 seconds remaining in this game. Both teams chucking as much as they can at each other and being defended brilliantly.
Seiko cuts off AJ. Aleutian keeps it going. Aleutian towards the box, but Seiko stays right with him. And another 50 goes the way of FaZe, but Metzenar's actually first there, so that's Endpoint's win. AJ cuts them off in midfield. And he can't chase that one down, no boost.
Thought maybe we'd see something special there from AJ. Had a carry, nice 50 off the sidewall, but couldn't get the follow-up first killer. He's got 7 boost left in the tank, maybe goes for a steal. He stays up forward, which is an awkward choice, but it ended up almost working out, and then now he gets the corner boost. FaZe, they are mounting a high-pressure situation on Endpoint's defense.
Here comes first killer, back over to AJ, keeps it close, but you see Aleutian, he's got to stay back on this, don't want to overcommit.
Is that going in?
Lead for Endpoint!
The runaway goal coming in for the young rookie. The touch from AJ, so substandard, and Seiko, midfield, able to get on it. The thing is, Aleutian, he rotated back. He was nearly ready to save it. He felt the pressure building, and yet it still sneaks past. FaZe Clan having the better of the last 2.5 minutes, and yet the counter-attack is what may separate.
Nobody even expected that. From first killer, it was a poor challenge, and it just pinched off of the sidewall. Things not going their way. FaZe Clan, their backs against the wall. 30 seconds left. Need to put one in now.
Tipped up high, Seiko. Well, he tips that one high. Metzenaris gets in the way. Seiko collects the boost, but AJ's got the space. AJ towards the box.
Double tap.
He got bumped. He won't be able to get back to it. Here come FaZe Clan again. That's a high ball for first killer. Pass in front, relating wave. Gonna push that one back down to FaZe territory, but the end of regulation is here. FaZe Clan need a goal to tie it up.
There's time, though. There's time.
First killer. He's denied by Metzenaris. Still bouncing.
We got
a second.
We got a bounce, boys.
Trying to put it on the ground. It's taken over to the corner. Can FaZe keep this one up? AJ has a high touch. Seiko there to read it. He's got the boost to kill that ball. And there it is. Endpoint take the lead.
What a performance from Endpoint right at the end of that game. It was straight up 2.5 minutes of pressure. Endpoint held out so magnificently. Somehow, only registering 6 shots from FaZe. It felt like there were so many more rocketing in. But they're not always counted. As you know, in Rocket League, sometimes they're not dead on. But the fact that Endpoint just had to have that one moment, the one turnaround for Seiko to hit it hard. Yeah. And he did it.
And it all comes down to that 50-50 from first killer, in my opinion. That, obviously, we saw that pass. But right here, that touch from first killer, he was actually going in for a 50-50 or trying to squeeze it into the corner of Endpoint, but it went against him. And we just got information. There is now a timeout called for FaZe Clan.
Usually you don't see the timeout come until a team goes up by at least 2 games. Endpoint only up 2-1 in this series, an early timeout from FaZe.
But it's one of those situations, I feel, where FaZe haven't got into this losing feel in this competition. They went 3-0, let's
Exactly. That's what Archie mentioned in the interview. He was talking about how in against Dignitas, Dig didn't know how to lose. They weren't used to it.
Well, who else other than our former world champion coach Greg and to tell us what's going on with these 2 teams?
Yeah, FaZe clearly seeing something Endpoint are doing. They need to talk it out right here. Endpoint looking phenomenal in that second game. It's definitely shaken up FaZe here. I think they're trying to work out how to get past the onslaught of challenges from Endpoint. Nothing seemed to be getting through. Very similar story to what we saw with Complexity BDS.
Greg, and what do you think it is that FaZe Clan need to do here to try and turn the tide?
I think a little bit more patience, waiting for those moments where Endpoint expect the challenge, maybe fake challenges, a little bit more forcing. Things that don't use up boost that are going to get them possession. We need a little bit more of that. Seeing too many 100 boost plays here that are turning into free possession for Endpoint and a 3v2 counterattack.
Greg, and do you regret raising the FaZe jersey yet?
I mean, at this point, I'm seeing an Endpoint I didn't expect to see right here. We need to see FaZe step up to what they showed yesterday, or not yesterday, they had the day off yesterday, but what they showed during the Swiss. They looked exceptional, and it was due to their outplay ability, and right now they're struggling to outplay Endpoint. I
mean, FaZe, they have to hit the brakes. At what point are you just going way too hard, moving forward, hitting every ball with as much power as you possibly can? The midfield passes, I couldn't even keep track of it. The camera could barely keep track of it in the game. That's how fast they were passing it, but things slowing down could be the benefit for them.
Yeah, potentially that is the answer for FaZe Clan. Thank you, Gregan, for that incredible insight, as ever. Gosh, he's got a giga brain. I love it. I love it. He's so handsome and strong. He's just so wonderful. This is where FaZe Clan need to be thinking, guys, we are so good. We are one of the best teams in the world. We've got an all-star roster.
You want the hype.
We need to bring it against Endpoint. Are they going to be able to do it? I really feel like we're going to 7 here. It does not go down anything less.
FaZe have looked threatening throughout the whole series, but now they got to find a way to tie things up. Endpoint have taken control of the series. And the kickoff looks like it's going the way of FaZe. Illusion there quickly towards the net. And first killer makes sure it goes in.
The timeout is what they needed. A little break, and then you come out with this huge shot and a 50-50 actually from Illusion to set up first killer.
That right-hand side of the pitch paying dividends right now. The pass is coming in, the shot's
Just
coming
keep
in
the ball
from
over
the
there.
ceiling. Send it to the right-hand side, lads, FaZe, and you just win 3 in a row.
FaZe, here's first killer off the ceiling. Tried to be quick. Metzenaris got up there too quick for him. Was able to take that ball away. Now Endpoint worked to get out of the blue half, but here comes FaZe again. Metzenaris, tough spot, but he makes the touch.
All right, Illusion, he's getting very greedy here with the boost, but you love to see it because a lot of times first killer, you expect him to take the most boost, but sometimes there's a few games here where Illusion is the one being very boost hungry, taking all the boost, being aggressive, and that gives space and time for first killer to do what he does best with those 1v1s, but a huge mistake on defense, relating wave, the setup from nobody.
40 seconds gone, both teams have scored now. Seiko from the backboard, first killer. That is a diabolical error, and relating wave is prime and ready to tap it in the back of the net. We've had 2 tap-ins of both teams now. It is... It just comes down sometimes to those little errors.
You know, any sort of momentum that you built up is just immediately gone. Like, the kickoff couldn't have gone any better for you. That whiff just hurts if you're FaZe.
And it's all about the quality of goal that you let in. I mean, it's one thing to have one good shot go into your top corner, but then to give a free one away, that one's difficult to deal with. Off the backboard, hits the crossbar. First killer trying to make amends for that previous mistake.
And that's something that first killer is absolutely able to do. He's tried to go for a couple of those little tap-ins from up high, where the defenders, they cannot see him. They don't know what he's going to attempt. If he's going to go for more of them, then I want to be seeing them get a little bit more accurate, but they're definitely making the defense scared.
Nice pop from first killer over to Illusion. And they work together. Hard shot, but saved. And Metzenaris tries to get up to that one quickly. Probably better that he didn't touch that ball. Seiko can't get back to the 50. And FaZe back on offense. Big double tap from first killer off the ground.
Oh my God, first killer going high with that ball from the left-hand wall. Doesn't matter left or right, he's going to be getting another one.
And that's so creative from first killer to go for the ground bounce setup. Instead of going off the backboard, you could see there was a player from Endpoint waiting to recover and intercept the backboard double tap. So using the ground, getting the bounce pass to yourself. So creative, and that's why nobody expected it out of Endpoint.
Illusion trying to get that ball away. Metzenaris tees it away from Illusion. And another big clear for FaZe. Relating wave has a look from his own corner. Keeps it tight. Pops it over with the first FaZe defender. He's got a second one to beat. Punches him off the ball. Another 50 in front. Seiko, light shot, and it's turned away.
That proactive defense from FaZe there to not wait on the goal line because of how many demos have come in that have been vital. The fact that they are now moving means that that's so much harder to hit. But Illusion, chance to 1v1. Seiko going top corner, crossbar down. Even Seiko.
I was just about to mention, I don't understand why Endpoint's pushed up so far here. There was a moment right before this goal went in where all 3 members of Endpoint in FaZe Clan's half, they were being aggressive. It seemed like everybody was trying to take boosts and nobody was back on defense for the recovery.
Well, Seiko on that right-hand side, he had no boost in the end. He missed the mid-100. He wasn't able to then get up and get in the way of that ball.
So risky.
The 2-goal lead now for FaZe LAN. Is it going to be 3? Absolutely it is.
Oh, everybody when the season started, they're talking about first killer. They're talking about AJ. But let me show you Illusion. Look at that double.
LAN Lucian has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not just today. It's been the whole tournament long. That man has been popping off for his team.
A big response for FaZe Clan. That timeout paying dividends with a big 4 spot on Endpoint. First killer off the ceiling. First killer, 1 to beat, and just that touch was not enough. Seiko's got the save.
Just moving his car around that ball made it so utterly unpredictable where he wanted it to go. But AJ finding first killer yet again. Look at FaZe now putting on this pressure. They have got Endpoint in a vice.
Stopped by relating wave before he's deleted. Now Seiko with a little bit of control. There is time left for Endpoint, but they have to start this clock soon if they want a 3-goal comeback. That shot starts things off, but there is first killer carrying it all the way back downfield.
Now my question to you two is, have we seen FaZe Clan start to hit the brakes a bit? I really don't think I've seen too much of that slowing down that we mentioned from Gregan. It's just been go, go, go on offense. Everybody getting involved and non-stop holding the boost.
I certainly think it's been more controlled. It feels like they're finding each other in more. They're going for these mechanical plays that they will have rehearsed 1,000 times, 10,000 times before. The fact that now they're paying off means that they're not second-guessing themselves.
And they can still go for those dribbles. They can still go for that slow play, which almost makes me think FaZe Clan have all the momentum. Of course, they're winning this game, but they're just now tying the series up if they can hold on for the last minute and 20 seconds.
Relating wave, tease this one up, and AJ there on the backboard. High ball in front, nobody from FaZe up. Metanaris free shot, and he gets the goal.
The fact that Metza here was on, let me wait for the counter to pop back up again, about 30 boost or so, and he still managed to get that shot, just showed how much FaZe Clan anticipated it was going to be coming in so much sooner. And then splitting the needle, getting it right between the two players. Honestly, FaZe Clan should have saved that. They shouldn't have given him that much time, but Metza taking full advantage. A minute 10, 2 goals, definitely possible.
Look here for AJ, but he ended up giving it back to Relating Wave. Metanaris dives for the ball, but can't get a touch onto it. And here's Illusion again. Boy, has he come up big time this week for FaZe. There's another 50, but Relating Wave takes it away.
Not only that, but the boost steal from Illusion. The one that Seiko was trying to mine just means that the action wasn't able to fall nicely for Endpoint. That defense, though, from FaZe. Oh, boy, that's a tough nut to crack.
AJ looking for the clear. Seiko. Oh, then Relating Wave both bit for that, but Metanaris was not going to get a shot. Easily defended. Relating Wave, a catch. There's still some time on the clock for Endpoint. This is where they want to be. They're looking for that tying goal or the tying up. They need 2 to do it, though.
If there's a team out there that won't give up with 20 seconds left, 2 goals, it's going to be Endpoint. Looks like something was developing there for Relating Wave off the backboard. They still got pressure, but time is running down for Endpoint.
That's Anara's hard hit off the corner and a big clear for FaZe. That will all but do it. Relating Wave, one more chance off the ceiling. That touch won't get it done for Endpoint. FaZe Clan have tied it up. And we're going at least 6 in this match.
Just the ambitious pre-jumps from Endpoint at the end of that game, not what they need, but FaZe Clan. You've got to applaud how well they did in there.
And they picked it up on the 50s as well against Endpoint. The first game, there weren't too many challenges. Everything was just moving forward for FaZe Clan. I think Endpoint really picked it up in game 2 to meet FaZe Clan in the midfield, but then they started winning every 50-50. Here, FaZe Clan have responded. They're winning challenges more. And the first goal, it was one big 50-50 win to start things off for FaZe.
And Endpoint almost had the comeback. You look back to that one, albeit half-chance opportunity that just hit off the crossbar and bounced out. That really killed all the momentum that Endpoint had built up to that point with under a minute to go. So the timeout paying dividends for FaZe. It has all season for the teams that have utilized it.
Endpoint not calling theirs either. We're going to be going into Wasteland with this series now tied up at 2 apiece. Endpoint, they lose this one, they have to use it. You have to think so. But this
they need a stretching break.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I mean, I hope they all brought one of those rollables that they can just roll around the stage on, because
get the yoga mats.
FaZe Clan, they're going to steamroll all over them.
Touch here for Relating Wave, and it's kicked away again here by FaZe. AJ one-on-one. AJ wins it all, and FaZe Clan score first.
It's so aggressive from Endpoint. I'm not used to seeing this. The third man doesn't know what's happening. Psycho, was right underneath, I believe it was Metza, and then everybody's just too far forward. This is such weird play styles from Endpoint where they don't know where to communicate and where to position.
Seiko in the midfield, just not necessarily knowing where he needs to be, is a little bit of a worrying sign, because suddenly that young rookie, after looking so firm in his beliefs of where his positioning and how mechanically he's able to perform, it's all pulled into question. This is such a hard LAN for all of these new players.
Relating Wave taking away a corner boost. Metanaris light shot. Seiko diving forward. He wants that boost. Can't get a solid 50 for his team. This puts Endpoint back on defense. First killer slowing it down. A quick change of pace for FaZe. AJ lobs it up. Seiko gets there before first killer.
Got some speed, and nobody else wanted to go up for it. Look at the patience from Relating Wave, waiting for that touch from Illusion. Could be a new playstyle they're trying to incorporate. Maybe the patience comes out from Endpoint instead of trying to challenge everything after losing all the 50-50s in the previous game. And there's space in the midfield for Alu.
50 from Seiko, and Relating Wave is ready for it. He got the ground pop air dribble. Relating Wave can't get the bump. AJ kicks it away. Metanaris quickly on the bouncer. Can't get a bump either, and first killer back over to his own corner.
Such a good chance for Mets there to get the bump, but just misreading the angle that the defensive player was going to be coming from. means that FaZe Clan can clear it with ease. One thing I would love to see is Relating Wave to show us some of those mechanics that we know that he is able to employ.
Which we saw in game 2. I mean, that redirect was unreal. Need to see more of that from, I'd say, all 3 players out of Endpoint. FaZe Clan 1-0. They could just ride this one out.
FaZe done a good job shutting down Endpoint in these first 2 minutes. A couple of 50s. FaZe aren't able to push down. Seiko back over to Metanaris, and a high ball back over to the corner for Endpoint.
These early goals so hard to pull back from for Endpoint because FaZe, they're happy to turtle up. You know, they're doing such a good job of getting 3, 4, 5, 6 shots per their net, and then they'll go for a counter. And everyone must be thinking, what can we do? But Metza, chance to go for it. 1, 2, 3, but nothing to write home about.
But that's where things get scary. Look at how willing Endpoint are to push everybody forward. Of course, FaZe Clan have to react fast, but it's gotten so much slower. What is going on the field? That ball seemed to be grounded for way too long. A demo from First Killer maybe leads to something. And it's just chaos. I don't know what's happening right now.
It's Wasteland, Turtle.
Yep.
You're gonna have to just destroy everybody.
On theme.
Seiko doing a lot of work here on the back wall to be able to clear that ball out. And now he's got the ball in front. One-on-one in front with First Killer. Seiko tried the 50, but it's back to Metanaris. Illusion swings right into the way. The Relating Wave lands back on the wall, but AJ takes the ball away from him. Seiko can't keep the ball locked.
Look at the 50-50s from FaZe Clan, consistently winning every single challenge. You saw Seiko right behind the ball for the shot, and you thought he was going to hit it, just like you thought AJ would have a follow-up there. But fortunately enough, if you're a fan of Endpoint, they do survive.
I've no idea how he saved that away either. That'll like a sure goal. We've seen so many drop-down goals coming in, just not yet. 90 seconds. FaZe Clan still leading 1-0 here on Wasteland. A shot from Wave, just not able to get past AJ.
Endpoint trying to get something going from the corner here, but that 50 goes right over Relating Wave's hood. He tries to make up for it, but FaZe Clan push forward. Metanaris back over to Relating Wave.
That read from, I believe it was First Killer on Endpoint to keep it moving forward, wasting time. And here he goes again, the 1v1 play around 2 players, and then Aldu's above everybody else. Back to First Killer. That was ridiculous.
It was monstrous. Alu catching that in the midfield, sends it high. First Killer in for the touch of the side wall, and Seiko sitting in the net, trousers down. That is 2 goals for FaZe Clan. What a lead.
Endpoint have yet to answer. Another explosive play from FaZe Clan. Here's Seiko. If anybody's gonna create an opportunity, it's him. But Illusion gets the nice catch from FaZe to push back down the field. Illusion the whole way, but Seiko's got the catch. Seiko on the ground.
The dribbles.
Pops it up himself, but there's too many FaZe Clan cars to get by. And while Metanaris might take one out, AJ just cruises by Relating Wave. Seiko, the only man back. AJ tries for the 50. This gives Illusion the chance, and there's Relating Wave to kick it away.
Oh, that is so much speed from First Killer to come in and clear the ball away from any attack that may well be coming from Endpoint HQ. 25 seconds, Endpoint haven't had too many chances on net, still sitting at 0.
And this is for match point. FaZe Clan, they're 2 away, 15 seconds from being 1 away. Endpoint, what is the response?
Seiko, no touch. Metanaris, that's just right over to Illusion. That'll waste the rest of the time on the clock. FaZe Clan, time expires to 0, and they're 2-0 since the tactical timeout. 1 game away from the semifinals.
FaZe Clan looking utterly unfazed in that match, meaning that when they go into game number 6, it is a chance, Turtle.
Do we get a timeout from Endpoint?
They have to.
You think they have to? I mean,
they have to.
I have no. There is one. There is one. We just got news. There is a timeout for Endpoint.
The fact that Endpoint have such a unique timeout style where they literally, Metza stands up and does some stretch.
Let's see if we get that.
He moves around, resets them. It has done them so well in the regionals.
And I just want to talk about this play for a second. Illusion and First Killer, that was literally, it looked like they were an online free play where it's just First Killer and Illusion. The amount of touches and passes they got back to back. And of course, the timeout, they're standing up. The Metza, everybody's turned around. And this is what they do best. This is where things start to shift for Endpoint.
It's the chance for Eclipse to just get his players back into that mindset. Gregan, how would you do this if they were your team?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to reset that mindset right here. Nothing seems to be working for them. I think FaZe, after that timeout, just changed the way they approached the game. They were looking to challenge in the midfield, and when they got that space, they were incredibly creative. We need to see that creativity now from Endpoint.
Endpoint at this point, Gregan, are on the ropes. One more win and FaZe Clan get through. What is it the FaZe Clan are just doing that is just catching Endpoint off guard? To me, it looks like they've just got so much confidence. They're thinking, well, Endpoint, whatever you chuck at us, we can defend and just get a counter.
Yeah, confidence always a huge factor after those timeouts. Once you have a little chat through, recognize that you are capable of it, they seem to be coming in, having fun and trying new things. That creativity and the way they were executing it there made it so hard for Endpoint to defend and predict what was going on. So many players taken out of the game from that creativity.
I mean, Gregan, have you noticed that everybody on Endpoint has been surprisingly aggressive? Do you think that could come down to the nerves? All three players several times have been too far forward. What do you tell your team right now to calm them down and get that anxiety out?
I think they're trying to force a goal a bit too much right now. They're finding it too difficult, and rather than thinking, let's break them down more, they're thinking, let's try and make the goal happen now. And what's happening, FaZe, if they get that one single read, they come in, take it out the play. I'm sure they're going to come into this next game revitalized and ready to bring out their best plays.
They've got to be revitalized because this is game number 6 with their tournament life on the line. Endpoint need a win here to bring us to game number 7. FaZe Clan, they need one to find the semi-finals.
We head to Neo Tokyo, and Endpoint need a big game here to stay alive. FaZe Clan, it's all about the close. Seiko off the kickoff, big shot, big goal, Seiko!
It's all about the timeouts in this series. Seiko from the kickoff, he's ready, he's revitalized, energetic, and he's roaring to go.
Energetic Endpoint is exactly what we need to see. Neo Tokyo is inspiring Seiko. 3 seconds, that is huge. That is essentially a handicap goal. You get it, and then you've got the 5
We basically saw that exact same thing from FaZe Clan after the timeout, I believe, from them as well. So winning 50-50s. Also, a fiery start. Speaking of fiery start, here's AJ on the other side. You love to see it. You love to see it, AJ. My goodness, is there any more accurate spot you could predict and go for, too? We haven't heard or even talked too much about AJ. It's Illusion and First Killer. Where's AJ?
It's a bottom corner game. 2 have gone in at this point. In 12 seconds, they drew level pegging. What a comeback for FaZe Clan.
First Killer right here can't get the touch, and Relating Wave able to push that ball out for Endpoint. He actually misses that touch. And FaZe Clan, Illusion, a big 50, but the rest of FaZe waiting for the next touch. Here's First Killer off the ceiling, big double, and taken away by Seiko. Another touch for Illusion. One's gonna be wide, Relating Wave, missed touch. AJ couldn't get a good handle on it. Endpoint playing a lot of defense, and Relating Wave diving in front to get by midfield.
Awesome aggression there from Relating Wave, meaning that this play can now continue. Chance for First Killer to clear it away. The pre-jump from Wave, is that what they needed? It's going to be stretching the defense.
We'll see what Endpoint do here after that timeout. Will we see them be a bit more patient with their play instead of, like Gregan said, trying to force that goal? You just want to keep possession, wait for the mistake to come out, and starve FaZe Clan.
As you asked that question, Turtle, Relating Wave immediately relinquishing all control of that ball. Disappointing to see. The nerves potentially just meaning he wants to get that ball away. Wave plays best when he's got that ball close to his chest.
Relating Wave, another tee up, but he's just shut down by First Killer. And that ball's taken away. It was going to be wide. Metzenaris trying to get that ball around FaZe. Since that first goal from Endpoint, FaZe have flipped things around quickly, and Endpoint worked together to try to get out downfield, but they can't get around this FaZe team right now. Illusion off the ceiling is going to be cleared away.
It's weird to see Seiko be so eager to clear the ball to the other side. Meanwhile, First Killer, he's just clearing it to himself. The save off the post, and it's back to First Killer, who's going for back-to-back passing plays in the midfield.
Machine gun shots firing in on the Endpoint net, miraculously managing to keep it out though, and now the attack in favor of Endpoint.
Seiko, his shot turned away by Illusion. It's not the best touch, but Endpoint a little slow to get there. Relating Wave's touch isn't good enough, and First Killer can pull that one back out. Trying to keep that ball away from Wave, and it's bombed back downfield. Seiko cuts them off in midfield. Back here we come. Endpoint, Metzenaris, back to Relating Wave. And FaZe, there's just not a lot of holes to pick from for Endpoint, and they're able to take control of the ball, FaZe Clan.
Seiko needs to get something going soon. A pass may well be it, but just wipe away. AJ, that stalwart defense, and now the counter-attack. Seiko, where did he come from?
They're so quick to get to the other side. Speaking of so quick, Seiko, I don't know how he got that save either. These players are so fast to rotate back into position. It's like they're teleporting.
Back midfield, Seiko gets demoed, but he got the touch before FaZe could get there. AJ kicks it right over the first attacker, but Metanaris is there quickly. But every time Endpoint get that ball to the backboard, FaZe have been able to shut it down quickly. There's another one off the ceiling, but AJ makes the touch. A lot of demos coming out. That one off the corner. Is there a shot coming? No, Illusion punches it way downfield. Seiko keeps it alive. Seiko underneath. Seiko just misses that second touch off the reset.
So a couple of mechanical errors coming in for Endpoint. Metanaris with a side flip when he otherwise got a clear shot, but Seiko with the flip reset. First killer over the top, tries to bump Wave, does manage to just confuse him a touch, but now Endpoint again, back to back, shooting at each other's nets. This is a battle of titans.
Relating Wave gets bumped out of the way. Seiko needed a solid touch. He got one. It's a chance for Metanaris. He gets by Illusion, but he's got to get by a first killer as well. Tough to do. AJ against the side wall. First killer. Back again. FaZe are swarming this ball. First killer, quick pass over, and it's denied by Seiko. Big clear for Endpoint.
FaZe are so fast to get back into this rotation and to get the possession started again. It's like one miss comes out, and Metza, the miss in the midfield. Hold on a second, though. Here's Seiko. Gets a mind game off the backboard. Could be a follow-up for Metza. The accuracy isn't there, and Endpoint keep knocking on the door, but nobody answers.
So many chances, Jorby.
Seiko almost got the touch there, but he ended up getting nothing out of it. FaZe, they're denied again. Endpoint, despite not being able to put it together in front of the box, they're still firing. Seiko slows it down. Pass in front.
There it is.
Getting in front of it, AJ. Now he swings quick for a FaZe counterattack. Barreling downfield. AJ's flick denied by Metanaris.
These opportunities coming for Endpoint, they just can't take it. The defense from FaZe Clan is world-class right now.
The shot, just wide. AJ got the demo that gives space for FaZe to come in, and he got the 50 first killer, but that's Relating Wave's ball.
Seiko has no
back towards the middle. It's pushed back downfield by
through.
AJ. Metanaris gets the clear. End of regulation looming. Illusion past the first killer, denied. Endpoint trying to keep that ball safe. AJ got away from him, and Metanaris puts it on the ground. No, Illusion.
No, he wants to play.
He wants to play.
He's ready. He wants to keep going.
On the air dribble, goes for the bump maybe, and it drops. We got overtime.
You saw him get that dribble. You know he wanted to keep playing that one, and he had the boost to go the distance. But instead we get OT, something even more nerve-wracking.
This time, no kickoff goal. It's going to come down to regulation. AJ up for one, but denied the second.
Almost got it. Illusion, another 50 for him. Relating Wave gets there quickly on the rotation. Metanaris back over to Seiko, and FaZe wait for the Endpoint counterattack. A slow ball, and first killer easily clears this one downfield. A bump again. It has been a physical battle. FaZe Clan trying to keep the ball locked. They win 150. Another demo in front. First killer bumps Wave out of the way. Seiko in front of the ball. He slows down FaZe for now, but AJ wins a big one.
AJ!
Can't get there! FaZe feast on Endpoint! They move on to the semifinals!
They have given Endpoint their first taste of defeat in the playoff bracket. FaZe Clan. They've done what no other team could do, and they take them out. They look so solid here.
Remaining unbeaten, FaZe Clan, the pride of North America right now, as Illusion, AJ, and First Killer set their names in the history books. But Endpoint through that series, a team that qualified through in the #1 spot for Europe, taken down by the #3 NA seed. That was an astonishing series for both sets of fans.